Hello. So I have received a request from one of the viewers to make a video on interview questions on Navy. Earlier I have made a video on interview questions on Army. So there was a request, sir, please make on Air Force and Navy also. So let us start the questions on Indian Navy. So what is the name of first Indian aircraft carrier built by India? What is the principle behind the working of a ship? What is an approximate weight of a ship? Tell me about some successful operations carried out by Indian Navy. Who is the Chief and Vice Chief of Naval Staff? And here organization chart and other senior level appointments also. How many commands are there in Indian Navy and where are they located? What is the motto of Indian Navy? What is the name of Special Force of Indian Navy and when was it established? Tell me something about Operation Vijay, Operation Cactus and Operation Rahat conducted by Indian Navy. What are the ranks of officers and personnel below officer rank PBOR in Indian Navy and equivalent ranks also with Army and Air Force? What is the difference between Indian Navy, Indian Coast Guard and Merchant Navy? Describe the flag of Indian Navy and explain its importance. So both old flag and the new flag which has been recently launched. So both the flags you should know and why there was a need to change that flag. Which is the oldest and largest base of Indian Navy? INS Vikramaditya has been bought from which nation? Tell me about the Andaman and Nicobar Command of Indian Navy. Who is considered father of Indian Navy? What do you understand by stealth technology? What is the difference between frigates and corvettes? In which year Indian Naval Academy was established and in which place? Who was the first Chief of Naval Staff? Which satellite is used by Indian Navy? What is INS Vishal? The next question is, name 3 aircraft carriers, 3 submarines, 3 destroyers, 3 frigates, 3 corvettes and 3 offshore vessels of Indian Navy. I will repeat this question. 3 aircraft carriers, 3 submarines, 3 destroyers, 3 frigates, 3 corvettes and 3 offshore vessels in Indian Navy. So these are different types of ships. What are the duties of ATC officer in Indian Navy? If you are going for ATC branch, for whichever branch you are going, you should know the duties of that branch and where your training will be done for that particular branch. So next question is, what aircraft are available with Indian Navy? How many ships and submarines are there in Indian Navy? How many aircrafts are there in Indian Navy? Then tell me about marine commandos. If Indian Air Force already has a large number of fighter jets, why does Navy need a separate one? Indian Air Force has got fighter jets. Army does not have fighters. So why does Navy require fighters? Why Air Force cannot work in collaboration of Navy? What are your views on theaterization of the forces? In your opinion, how can Indian Navy contribute to the pledges undertaken at COP26? How do you think Indian Navy protects such huge waterways? Other than the military operations, how does the Navy contribute to the nation? So military operations is one thing. Like Army's contribution we know, Air Force contribution we know in case of disaster management and emergencies and in aid of civil authority. So how does Navy contribute? What do you expect to gain by joining the Navy? And what do you have to offer? How Navy will gain by your joining? What do you mean by commissioning and launching of a ship? Many times you must have read in the newspapers a new ship has been commissioned, a new ship has been launched. So, what do you understand by commissioning and launching of a ship? Next question is what are torpedoes? Then, what is the Blue Water Navy? What is the Blue Water Navy? The next, explain Operation Trident. Then tell the names of Indian Navy military exercises held in the year 2022. Next question is what do you think can be the reason behind white uniform of almost all navies of the world? Almost all the navies in the world have got white uniform. There may be few exceptions, but generally everyone has got a white uniform. So what could be the reason? It's very difficult to maintain white uniform. So why they have kept the uniform color white? Then tell me about the naval heritage of India, the history of Indian Navy. How did it start? Like I asked you, who is the father of Indian Navy? Hmm? What do you know about INS Khukri? Tell me about the branches of Indian Navy and their different roles. Officer rank mein what are the branches? Then tell me the names of the aircraft used by Indian Navy. Is INS Arihant an attack submarine? If not, then what is its use? INS Arihant, what is it? Which is the best aircraft carrier, destroyer and submarine in the world? Tell me about modernization in Indian Navy so far. What all modernization has taken place recently? Tell me about future ambitions of the Indian Navy. What are the future plans? Development, further modernization. What is the role of exercises with different navies of the world? We can simply do our own exercises. Where is the need to go and do exercises with other navies of the world? What is the purpose? Abhi recently also exercise has taken place few months back. What are the different types of missiles used by the Indian Navy? Tell me about the air arm of the Indian Navy, that is the flying branch in the Indian Navy. Why Army, Navy, and Air Force have different ways of saluting? Which are the major Indian companies that are producing ships and submarines for the Indian Navy? Why is Indian government spending on nuclear powered submarines even though the diesel ones have proven themselves from time to time? So diesel submarines are doing a good job. So where is the need? Why government is spending money on developing a nuclear powered submarine? Then what is blue water navy and what is India doing towards becoming one? So these are some of the questions. Many more questions can be there. But if you understand and learn the answers, find out the answers of these questions, I think you will do sufficiently well in your interview. Now this is not only good for Navy. You go for Air Force or Army, then also some questions will be asked on Navy. So don't think that when you will go for Navy, then only you should prepare these questions. These are 30-40 questions, maybe around 50 questions. So it is not a very big task. Now when you have got time. So even if you are not going for Navy, I would like you to learn the answers of these questions also, and shortly I will put a video on Air Force questions. So all the three will be there. You may be going for any service, but you should know about all the three services. You should be prepared for that. So get ready and do well. Bye bye.